Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Karma on Deck. It is July 27th. For this week, it's late at July 27th. So let's take a look and see what is going on for us. That's why I entitled it This Is Us. It has been an interesting week. So I'm going to try and get a couple of these done because early for the week because I'm moving and I don't want to have anything over my head that I don't have to. I want to enjoy this little transition. So you're getting a little batch. So here we go for us, Capricorn. I am also a Capricorn sun. So let's take a look and see what this Capricorn reading looks like. Hi, Lisa. A good shuffle. Sagittarius and Scorpio were both a little bit intense. So let's see what Capricorn has going on. I don't even listen to my own readings and I don't remember what I say. I'm going to have to go back and look. But let's see what's going on, guys. And go. Four of Wands, which for me is interesting because I'm in the middle of a move. So a Four of Wands is your card that has to do with building a foundation and creating a structure around and movement around building a foundation. So what do we do when we build a foundation? We lay, we design the square. We just put our strongholds and our posts in so that we have things to build upon, and we make sure that that foundation is good. We have the Four of Swords, and usually the Four of Wands, and notice we have a Four of Swords and a Four of Wands. 4 and 4 is like a solid foundation. So the first card that comes up for us, dear Capricorn, is the Four of Wands, which is foundation, and then the Four of Swords, which is tension. So here's the thing about the Four of Swords, and I feel this deeply right now, so forgive me if I use my stories as your parables, but the Four of Swords is tension. If you look at the card closely, he's got a fistful of swords, okay? And he's holding them by the blade, not the hilt. So there's a lot of potential for this individual to get cut or make a mistake, get injured, drop the blades. It's just a lot of tension. If I have the blades in my fingers against my skin, if I move them or make a wrong move or I move suddenly or anything, if you even look at this, he's got the card or the sword on the tip of his nose. I think there's a story in the Bible or some, I can't remember the reference, but about how the king, somebody talked about how nice it must be to be the king. And he said it's actually not, because he said, well, you just get to sit up there and make decisions. And so a sword of Damocles, I think it is, where he held the sword up by a string above the person's head and said, you go ahead and do it and become the king. And he sat there sweating all day, worrying about when this sword was going to come down, right? Because that's the types of decisions that kings make. That's the types of decisions that we feel we're making right now, as we feel like we have this sword over our head, and every decision that we make feels like there's this pressure and deadlines. And right now I'm moving, so everything's about deadlines right now, and there's a lot of pressure and stress going on with that. Five of Wands, which is defensive behavior, feeling backed into a corner. Yes, I have 3 days to move, and so much going on with it that it's beyond complicated, and I just keep holding space. Things are out. I'm supported. It's going to be fine. I'm not allowing myself to dip into that tension and that stress. But like having to quit a job on Friday, or having to move out by Friday, or having to move in, or make a payment when the payment is due, like those types of things are what tension and stress feels like. So the Queen of Cups is also in play, and that's all about emotion. So feeling very full of our emotions, and how just acute, like feeling them deeply. I have the Five of Coins, which is me, looking where this money is going to come from for all these different things that we want to get accomplished. And this is the puzzle. Have this money coming. Where is it going to go? How are we going to allotment are we going to make? How are we going to make that happen? I do see the Temperance card, which is balance. The Four of Coins, looking for money. That would be me. I've been packing, so I haven't been able to work. And things keep eating up, nickeling and diming my pennies like little mice chewing away at the cheese. I won't have any left if things don't slide into play. And we have the Moon card, which is fear. Afraid we're not going to have it. Afraid we're not going to get anything done. I can speak perfectly on this right now. This tone, this mood is me right now, which is the Moon card. You can't know where you're going unless you know where you are on a map. And sometimes this card is beautiful for this tone because she's got these two pillars of knowledge. She has the moon. She's looking up to where she's come from. She's checking out the knowledge that she's learned of where she's at. And there's this little crab here, which is fear. So she's trying not to let that fear judge and color the tone in which she makes her next moves. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So that is tide turning, things changing, the moon phases, the day of the week. Like it's an event turning, like going from one phase into the next. Woo, 8 of Swords, feeling overwhelmed. That's my batting cage. So the batting cage is, I always use this one when I see this card, because what's true is you get in a batting cage, and especially if you do fast pitch, here comes the ball. You better crack it and don't take your eye off the next one, because it's going to clock you in your helmet if you're wearing one. You better wear one, because he's got blinders on. So not only can he not see the next one coming, but there's swords in every direction. So he feels like his time is being all taken up with that. However, amongst all of this chaos, we have the 7 of Cups, the King of Coins, the 9 of Cups, 8 of Wands, and we have the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is feeling like you don't have a voice. It's feeling as if no one's hearing you when you do speak. And so you're feeling a little bit like you're washed out or faded away a little bit. We do have here the couple things that are, so even though we have this tension, this foundation, and feeling backed into a corner, I want to bring you a little hope, because here's what's true. We have the Temperance card, which is balance, pouring one cup into it. We're getting enough rest. We have a lot of tasks. We spending the money, but it keeps coming. We keep looking for things, and they keep showing up. So remember, this is all about EQ for Capricorn right now. It's about emotional IQ. How are we navigating these emotions that feel so tense? We're feeling backed into a corner. Are we doing the freak out? So Capricorn, are you freaking out? It's fair to have an overload. It's fair to have too much on your plate, but are you asking for support, Capricorn? I'm going to put my hand up and say no. I am a stubborn ass Capricorn. I deny most things about Capricorn. I don't like to be told that I'm practical, because I'm a Pisces rising in an Aquarius moon, talker and healer. But what's of a more practical healer than a paramedic? So 20 years as a paramedic, which is Capricorn, Pisces. So I have to take all these parts in, but I love to deny that I'm practical. And I love to deny that that I'm stubborn. However, stubbornness definitely comes into play to this, because Capricorn, you can change your perspective on how this is all received for you, or how this is all playing out, because it's all perspective. Look at what you do have, and you're not focusing on this one part. So you have Temperance, which is balance. Now remember, we talked about foundation. We have foundation and tension and deadlines causing tension. So that's not just pure anxiety, which is the 8 of Wands. So this is 8 of Wands. So we have the 4 of Swords, tension, backed into a corner. So that's like, maybe we didn't set things up, or outside circumstances perpetuated the events to the causal relationship between how things happen. So maybe some of these things were out of our control. However, we're down to the wire now. It's the 11th hour, and there's tension. So you got to ask yourself, how did I create this tension? Was I prepared? Did I say no when did I say yes when I should have said no? Did I ask for support? Things that caused us to have this tension. I want you to look at these things. You have Temperance, which is balance. You have the Wheel of Fortune, all that stuck energy that was going on with COVID, all that crazy chaotic energy with all those eclipses that were going on during Mercury retrograde is changing. So things are shifting. We're coming out of one aspect and into the next phase. We also have internal balance. We have 9 of Cups, which is celebration. I'm moving into a new house. I'm moving into a beautiful little spot that's going to be just for me. A lot of amenities that I do love, a little projects that I get to work on later. So I haven't stopped to take a look at how fun it gets to be when I move. There's work in everything. You can't have the fruit of the tree unless you first plant a seed. Then you got to water it, then you got to prune it, then you got to wait. So sometimes, Capricorn, there is an element of impatience to our movement. Feeling backed into a corner is unpleasant. And what do we do when we're in a corner? Is we lash out. Don't do that. But here's the thing. Temperance is balance. 7 of Cups is balance too. If you look at this, it's all the elements around him, the different things that make our life what it is: money, work, kids, family, love, relationships, health. Like all these things seem to be in balance. If you have health issues and whatever, and they're just kind of like this, they're not going to get worse. Let's just say that, because not everybody's perfect. But this is about being okay in here. This is about just coming to Zen, because there's been a few times where I started to freak out and I thought like that never solves anything. Those aren't good solutions. You know, freaking out, come from solutions. Don't waste your energy on that. So I keep recentering and coming to that, because here's what's going to happen. You have the King of Coins, money coming your way, all the work. So the Queen of Coins is protecting and building and nurturing your business. The King of Coins is being at the height of your business and receiving and just making the engine work and doing it well. So you have the King of Coins, Capricorn. You know, you're practical. You've already put all the things in play that you're supposed to, but you're focusing on the things that you didn't do instead of the things that you did do. So for me, I have the whole house packed. Everything's all cleaned up. I'm ready to go. I have my kitchen to do, and it seems like the biggest task, but who wants to pack their food a week before they go? So I've kind of left that in flux, but I'm picking myself apart because I didn't get it done. I just want it all done so that I can do this, so I can work, so I can play. This is play to me. So, and I hate moving. I have huge triggers about moving, and I had to talk about it a lot. You know, I was shipped from family member to family member. I never knew where I was going. You're going to go visit Aunt Susie. And then next thing you know, I don't come home. I go to school, or I go visit another family member for a few months, and then it turns into a year. So I kind of was always in flux. So I'm highly triggered right now about this moving idea. I'm like, what is it in my heart that has me feeling stuck? So I would recommend, because this is coming up the way that it does right here, 9 of coins, or 9 of swords, which is feeling like your voice isn't being heard. But I had to stop and say to myself, I am not my past. This is exciting. I get to move. I hate moving. So I get to move, and I get to move into a place that's going to be very stable. I get to settle in. I get to play and enjoy. It has all the things that I'm looking forward to. So start looking at what there is to celebrate in your life. Stop looking at the problems, Capricorn. You're damn good at it. Damn good at it. And however, we got to sit back a little bit and take some balance, okay? Because when we look at problems and we are steady with how we do things, we don't like to be ruffled. We want things to be done in a certain way, in a certain order, and knock them out and get them done according to how they're supposed to be. We don't like change too much, Capricorn, right? I don't know. I don't speak for myself at this point, but we do have a lot of celebrations. So we got to focus on, we are good at focusing on the problems because we like to fix them. We like to avoid them. We like to plan for them. So the 7 of Cups, balance, joy. We have the 9 of Cups, which is celebration. And the other cool thing is, even though we have all these deadlines, we have the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is movement. 8 of Wands is a locomotion. It's a locomotive. It's this whole energy of rapidly moving. So once you get your engine in gear, guys, this is going to move fast. So stop thinking about all the things that could happen. Start going to what's possible and coming from solution, and see how quickly these things change, because this is beautiful energy. It feels intense for us. We take things harder than we have to, right? Everything's not set in stone. Capricorn needs to learn to surrender, go with the flow, allow. Woo! Let's pull some cards from Mystic Dreamer and see what our Capricorn moon looks like. Little notes on housekeeping. Classes are up and on the website. Go ahead and jump on there. Don't stress too much about how the classes dates are looking, because we literally are formulating them per the student class. I might have a group over here that's saying I want weekends or mornings or evenings. There is a spot for you to put in your request. You know, tell me what you think you want to get out of the class. You can book your class and we will design it around schedules as we go. If I put the class up with a certain date, as soon as that date hit, it was going to disappear. So I put it for a year so we can roll these classes out. So book your class. Let me know if you want some assistance or to figure out a payment option for it. It's not that expensive, but I know it's crazy out there. So take a look and see on there what you'd like to do. Just reach out to me. Let's look and see what your Capricorn moon rating is. Any other signs that you're asking about? I'm only doing Capricorn now. They're already up on YouTube, so go check that out. And here we go. Capricorn moon. Ooh, Jameson growling in his sleep. So, first card that comes up is the Three of Swords. I usually call this my Mercury retrograde card, the Three of Swords, because if you stop it, so if you notice how it looks, I started here. So I have the Three of Swords, which is miscommunication. The literal definition of this card says, come here. The literal definition of this card says heartache without communication. It's the miscommunication card. It tells you that your words might get taken wrong and to pay attention to how that goes down. And also tells you to be aware that there might be some miscommunication. So my recommendation on that note is to take things slowly, deep breath, before you answer anything, just one breath. It allows you space of time for your sentences to conjugate and your thoughts to organize in a way that makes it beneficial to you to communicate clearer. If you notice here, we have the Queen of Cups, the Magician, and the Four of Cups. Here's Capricorn with this Four of Cups. She has all these cups in front of her, of course. Like, think of my move, for example. I can't think about the beautiful house I get to move into and the peace I'm going to have over there, the garden, the jacuzzi, palm trees. I can't think about any of that because all I keep thinking about is the move and the money and the projects and the heat and the cleaning I have to do, right? So the Four of Cups is telling us that we're getting stuck in our head about all of those things. 10 of Wands, burden, 10 of Swords, feeling betrayed. Are people supposed to help you that didn't? Are you feeling as if things aren't coming together like like you want them to? I'm also seeing the Queen of Cups. And that's telling us that in addition to all this stress, we're finding ourselves to be extremely emotional as well. The Magician is in play. We have the Emperor. I like the Emperor for Capricorn because it means leadership. It means go get the thing that you want. We also have the Fool card, the Lover's card for Capricorn. And I don't usually like the Lover's card. It's not my favorite. However, in this spread, it's beautiful. Let me show you why. Remember, each card is like words in a sentence. They don't mean just what they mean. Say the F word 1,000 times and you can say it a different way. I mean, think about how you act when you're from New York. So I have the Lover's card, which means that you have a little duality going on. And it also references, because this is the moon reading and not your general, see how they make a difference. There is a lot of Lovers energy coming up for Capricorn. And we have the Fool card, which is sum zero, it's ground zero, it's crossroads, it's decision making. So some of you out there might find yourself in a situation where there's new relationship energy, some really exciting opportunities regarding love. And that on either side of the fence, there might be some changes happening within your relationship or a new one. We also have the Judgment card in play with these are 3 major cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major cards. Capricorn is not doing anything in small measure right now. If you look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pretty heavy hitters, and then a King and a Queen. So only a few of these are kind of small, like kind of energy. The remainders are like really heavy hitting energy. We have the Magician, which is requiring you to use your voice. The Magician is on stage. It's go time. It's expertise, mastery. There's no more growing for Capricorn. I can tell you that this is to you, Holly. I'm hearing you in your head saying this is me, but I'm also seeing that we are very much alike in this. And here we go. The Magician's affect is all about like dress rehearsal is over, practice is over. You know, we got the lighting done. You've got the costumes done. You've got, you know, the groundwork, the tickets are sold, and it's time for people to show up. Okay. I started to look at all the things that I was doing lately, and this is for us. And that's why I titled it, This Is Us. Oh, goosebumps. So here's the thing. There comes a point where Capricorn has done all they can, okay? I'm going to use my example. This is the only viewpoint I can give you for right now. My website got revamped. My logo got done. My vendors for my t-shirts. My certifications are in alignment for my coaching class, the last one I just took. My books are organized. My classes are designed. My speaker for my podcast is in alignment. And I keep looking for what else there is to do. What is there left for Capricorn to do when there's nothing left to do? I got the answer for you. The answer is just be. There is no more frustrating thing that you can ask a Capricorn to do than be. That means surrender. We are We are emperors. Capricorns are emperors. I know the Capricorn card is a devil card based on astrology because that's the energy that we'll just talk about that later. But anyways, so the emperor is a go-getter. Okay. So for Capricorn, we're usually the supporters, the foundation, the work, the solid advice, the pragmatic ones. Okay. We have all the answers because we do all the things. Yes, you do this in this order or this process. So what do you do when there's nothing left to do? My analytics got yanked off of my web and I had to go to Google and redesign it. It took me 6 months to get it. But as soon as I decided that I was ready, all of these things clicked together and they became done. I had no check boxes left to do. I have a lot of work to do still because the podcast needs to move forward. My books need to get written, but there's nothing left to do but be. Theme of the day, Capricorn, is all about be. Use your voice, get on the stage. It's go time, Capricorn. Now, in addition to all of this energy, we have the crossroads. So even though we've built the house, we get to move into it now. There's never, ever any, you got that number 10 body. Now there's the number 10 spirituality to come, or the number 10 house, or the number 10 relationship. But the crossroads that we have, the zero, the fool, is the best thing that we can have with this kind of energy. We also have the Lover's card, which has to do with duality. It has to do with balance and opportunity and decision making that keeps you in alignment. I've been flowing so high up and down over the years, like deep dark shadows and super high highs, that I'm starting to get to this place where they're like this. And I mean, moment by moment, they go like this, and I just hold space. It's all coming. It's about to go pow. I promise you. It doesn't mean that there's no more work to do. It just means you got to show up. You've already built the house, guys. Let's pull one card from Divination of the Ancients. KarmaOnDeck.com. Book your one-on-one. Come to YouTube and you can see the picture-in-picture. Please subscribe. And you can see all of them in relationship to one another. Let's pull a card from my Divination of the Ancients for your final message. And here we go. Interpretation. Cool. So it's got a palmistry image on here. So interesting little things. Mercury comes out first. Saturn, Jupiter, and Apollo, Sun. Let me see here. The thing that comes up for me is interpretation. How are you interpreting the tension that's coming up? Are you having a good time, Capricorn? Why is it so hard for you to enjoy yourself? Now, Capricorns are really good at having fun once you talk them into it. Capricorns are really good, but we can guilt ourselves at times by saying, I should be. Don't should yourself. Just don't should yourself into a corner, guys. Ask for support. Be about it. So Capricorn, stop trying to do everything. Start being. Love and light. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Please leave a message or a comment about how you feel your reading went. Let me know where you are in the world, and I will catch you on the flip side. I'll see you next time, guys.